All right, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing a The Walking Dead video for today, leading up to the return for The Walking Dead Season 9, which is sort of tonight, but if you don't get a chance to see it via AMC Premiere or where have you, then it'd be next Sunday. In this one, we're going to start things off, give our thoughts on Alpha's voice in that new Whisperers trailer that AMC released a couple days ago. And spoiler warning, of course, as usual, if you are not cut up for The Walking Dead, which is up to the mid-season finale for the first half of Walking Dead Season 9. So, returns tonight, I guess, if you're able to watch it via AMC Premiere, or if you watch it via other means. So, otherwise, it's next Sunday, and I think the best way to go with this one is, if we're able to watch it tonight, I'll let you guys know, and I'll post a non-spoiler review, I think, and then what we'll do is, depending on how everybody's feeling, and then maybe we'll do a spoiler review either later in the week or, next Sunday when everyone else gets to see it. It's strange to see, but overall, from what I'm seeing from you guys in your comments from yesterday's video about the whole AMC Premiere subscribers getting to see the premieres a week early, which they'll probably continue with going forward, to be honest with you. They'll probably do that for the Season 10 premiere, and most likely going forward. And I don't think it's too bad as long as they don't start doing it like every episode. Then it'd be a big problem. Like if you start showing finales a week early and stuff like that, then it'd get a little bit too aggressive, and I think people get even more angry. But for the most part, everybody's kind of saying that they're not a fan. And it doesn't sound like many people are actually subscribed to Premiere. There was a few people who said, oh yeah, I got it. But not that many, right? Not that many. Some people mentioned that, if you have cable to start with, it's going to be however much it is where you are, $80 a month or whatever with AMC, and then on top of that, you're going to add it on. So it's tricky to say. So for this one anyway, since it's kind of return for Walking Dead tonight, otherwise next Sunday, depending on how things go for each particular one of you guys, whether or not you get to see it tonight or next weekend. Wanted to definitely post a video for today, so I thought we would go a little bit more into Alpha's voice. We got some comments from the preview video or the trailer. If you guys haven't seen it, I'll put the link in the description to check it out.
Your people crossed into our land. Your people killed our people. There will be conflict. I am Alpha.
And, you might want to listen to it on headphones or whatever if you've got a good quality pair of headphones. It's pretty funny. So here's some comments. Husalmon A said, Trev, I never thought Alpha had a Texan accent. I always pictured it being a serious, monotoned voice. When I heard her voice in the trailer, I was shocked, LOL. And then Bratislava Peric said, you were shocked. And I started laughing. I just cannot take her seriously just listening to that squeaky voice like Maggie. But who knows? Maybe she's savage. Well, she does look savage, that's for sure. I think the voice is worse than Maggie's, to be honest with you. When I looked it back over a couple times, and I try not to be too critical or overly critical of this kind of stuff online because, I don't want to insult anybody or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know they put a lot of work into obviously doing what they're doing. Certain things work. Other things don't work so well. For me, Alpha's voice, I'll just say it here because that's the topic of this video. I think it is horrendous. I think it is horrible. At least for me. I mean, compared to when I was reading the comics and kind of the way I envisioned it in my mind, I guess as Whisperers, they're not going to be talking a lot. So most of the time, they're going to be quiet. Now, you have to have some communication from them. They have to be, Alpha has to come in. I take it what she's saying in the preview trailer is probably what she's saying to Daryl outside of the hilltop, or probably what she's saying to someone in an introduction as she's introducing herself as the leader of the Whisperers. And, most likely Daryl or somebody in and around the hilltop that she's introducing herself to. Although we can't tell exactly depending on the trailer because it's sort of a voiceover type of way of doing it. But, so the whole kind of southern... I mean, we even have Fear the Walking Dead, which is actually in Texas, right? I don't know if I'd quite say that her accent is a Texan accent, that type of thing. I think, it's generally a southern type of accent. I think makes the most sense. But people went on for years, making fun of Andrew Lincoln with his choral. And I never thought it was that bad. I never thought that the way he said Carl or Coral or whatever was really that bad. Like when he gets home in the premiere, whatever, after the hospital and everything, and he's looking for Carl and he's crying out for it. I never thought it was that bad, personally for me. His accent does change over the years. If you watch the first couple seasons, a lot of their it's over many years. A lot of their voices do change, and he sort of, I want to say Andrew Lincoln as Rick, he kind of drew back the accent a little bit as time went on. Maggie or Lauren Cohen as Maggie, she kind of had the accent, but then it kind of, it's always kind of still there, but it's drawn back a little bit as time has gone on. But this one for Alpha is, like I said, I didn't think it was real when I first heard. I just thought it was kind of silly. I don't know if it fits the character. I don't know, man. I'm just really kind of on the fence about it. And like I said, I don't want to offend people, but I don't like it. I'm not a fan. So I think there's a reason why we don't hear too many, Southern accents on TV and everything. For The Walking Dead, I'm not going to say it doesn't fit. Now, here's one thing about it, is if you had her be a villain for Maggie and you had Maggie return, then I think it could work out really well because you have kind of the opposite. So you sort of have if Maggie comes back as a strong leader of the Hilltop and almost as one of like the leads of the show, because now that there's so much space open in The Walking Dead and Daryl's there, but yet Norman Reedus has kind of said he's not going to be filling Rick's shoes or taking over or anything like that. He wanted to squash that right away. So if Maggie comes back next year in season 10, then it could be a really strong return for her, and then you'd have kind of her and sort of a villain opposite to her, who also is, kind of, has, well, I don't want to say similar type voice, but you guys get where I'm going with it. Some kind of, similarity between the two, like some kind of mirror, opposite in some ways, but then that similarity between kind of the twangy, Southern-ish, accent, I don't know. So I guess it could work out that way, but otherwise, yeah, I'm not a huge fan of it. I don't know if it would have been better if she wouldn't have talked at all. I don't know. I don't think so, because I think you have to have scenes where she does speak at some point. But I think it would have been cooler if maybe it wasn't so heavy and drawn back a little bit. I don't know. Leave a comment below. Let me know what you guys think. Watch the trailer back if you don't know what we're talking about, because it's I think it's pretty funny, to be honest. It just doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel real to me. Adam Ford says, so I'll just watch it online for free right after it is shown on AMC Premiere. So that's what he says. And a lot of people did too. A lot of people thumbs that one up. And, it's kind of like they're kind of asking for it, right? For people, especially people who can't even get it even if they wanted to. Like a lot of people upset from overseas and stuff in comments I saw too. And I knew that was going to happen as well. So let's see how the whole thing goes. It just really throws out of whack kind of the whole, we all watch at the same time. We all react at the same time, give our thoughts. Like uniformity, right? It really messes up the uniformity of it. Zombie 1E Baxter says, Daryl isn't really the only lead character now. I believe it is like Game of Thrones, where there are multiple protagonists, them being Daryl, Michonne, and Carol. And I guess for him too, let's throw in Maggie there as well, and sort of Tara, I guess too, right? So that's true. You're right with that, with what you're saying, is that it's not all Daryl with this back half. But that's kind of the direction that they're going in, is sort of an ensemble type of show, and we'll see if anybody kind of seems to still kind of pull out to the front, and if it isn't Daryl, who else would it be? Maybe Michonne, I guess. Carol feels to me like she's getting kind of older now, so I'm not sure for her if she'll be at the forefront in too many action sequences or leading the charge or, that type of thing. There was also one, too. There was an article online where Greg Nicotero said that he thought Alpha was the best villain that I was reading earlier that the series has had. And then he quickly, within about 10 or 15 minutes, got a message from JDM, who was pissed off, right? That's Negan. In terms of best villain of the series, we'll see how great Alpha turns out to be as a villain, and Beta as well, too, of the Whispers. So far, I think it looks great. Everything except the voice, especially all the visuals and everything, and the introduction, everything was incredible. So we'll see how the rest of it goes through and how she feels as a villain when we get through this back half of the season. But, best villains of the series, Shane is pretty much always rated as the best villain of the series. Most fan favorite, rated as best villain. For me, you guys know, pretty much for me, it's been Negan ever since the introduction. But Shane was an awesome villain too. And, there's lots of others as well too. So I don't know if I could really place Alpha just yet, but of course he's seen a lot more of it than we have, and we'll see if there's any scenes between Negan and Alpha and what that looks like, because that could be interesting. We got DarkMaeko, who says, I don't even like Daryl's character. In my opinion, he's just kind of there. And so, I mean, he's not going to be able to continue to just be sort of there, right? He's going to have to be more involved with the show and more at the forefront, even if, like I said, Norman Reedus doesn't really want that for him based on what he's saying in interviews. But still, he kind of has to be, just because there's so much space there, and someone's got to meet Alpha, someone's got to talk to Alpha, and if it's him, it's sort of like he's the unsung leader, he's the leader of the survivors, because he's meeting whoever meets with her is sort of a leader on leader type of situation. So if it's not him and Tara comes out or Michonne comes out or something, then okay, that makes sense. But otherwise, if he's the one who's there, then we have to look at it as basically, take me to your leader. You've got Alpha of the Whispers there at the front, and then Daryl comes out to represent the survivors. So we'll see, but we'll see how those scenes play out, because we haven't seen them entirely yet. Kang Era Daryl also said, Reedus is a true enforcer of the show. Glad he's here until the end, and me too as well. And that's one thing about him too, is that he has basically agreed that he's going to stay with The Walking Dead until basically until the end. So I'm happy to hear that, or at least for a few more years. So that's great to see, because we need somebody to do that, considering that, the roster is small from the earlier survivors. Zach Walker says, hey, Trev, Morgan was in The Walking Dead for All Out War and before. Do you think he will recognize Dwight? So this is for Fear the Walking Dead now. How do you think that will play out? And I love your Fear reviews just as much as your Walking Dead reviews, so don't stop doing them and forget the haters. So thank you to Zach. Definitely this year we'll be doing, lots of reviews for Fear the Walking Dead as well, too. And we'll have to see if they decide to do a week early premiere for Fear the Walking Dead as well. Which, again, I'm not sure if they will. I don't know if there's that much hype around it for them to sell AMC Premiere to do it for Fear. I tend to think, if I'm predicting, I'll probably say they probably won't show Fear the Walking Dead a week early, but who knows, right? For The Walking Dead, it makes sense. I don't know if it makes sense for Fear, because it doesn't have the same kind of following. But nonetheless, thanks for your support, Zach, and I hope you guys do like the Fear reviews, and I will continue to do them, because I do still enjoy Fear the Walking Dead a lot, and never as much as the original, but, I enjoy it quite a bit. So, with regards to Morgan and Dwight, did they ever meet? And you guys can leave a comment on this one below, because this is Walking Dead question now, because this occurred in the Walking Dead TV series, not Fear the Walking Dead, even though they're going to meet in Fear, we know that. Did they ever meet each other in the Walking Dead series? I'd have to watch through Season 7, Season 8 again, and I guess the second half of Season 6, because Dwight was involved with that too. But I'm trying to think of the scenes, like where was Morgan? Because a lot of times he was at the Kingdom, and Dwight was more involved with, like Alexandria area, a little bit of Hilltop, that type of deal. So I'm wondering if they ever saw each other. I guess for sake of Fear the Walking Dead, we pretty much have to assume they probably know of each other, or they know who each other are, I would think. Or at least once Dwight explains where he's from, Morgan may, and he knows the war's over and everything like that, and it's many years later probably, Morgan may address him as if he knows him already, or as if he knows of him, or he's heard of him. But I'm trying to think if there's any direct scenes where they actually saw each other. I'd have to look back and watch it through, and if you guys, have the jump on me for that, if you can remember, from Season 8 and Season 7, if they had any scenes together, leave a comment below. But I don't remember them having any dialogue with one another. But I tend to think that they have to know of each other, or they at least have to know who they are, right? So we'll see how that introduction plays out in Fear the Walking Dead. Donna P says, I look forward to 9B, Trev, but like you, I miss Rick, and I don't know what to say either. It's an entirely different show. Sure, missing Rick, grieving for the old show a little bit. Yeah, it's very true, right? But reinvented itself a lot. Totally different. And Fear is as well, too. Basically, in the last year, they completely reinvented Fear, and they completely reinvented The Walking Dead. I'd almost say maybe they, it turned out to be a little bit more than what we would have wanted. You like to see shows be different and reinvent themselves a little bit, but they've done complete overhauls of both series to where both series are almost unrecognizable from what they were before. Even the original Walking Dead is too. You got everybody on horseback. You almost see no guns. You don't see, these action sequences where they're driving around in cars and stuff like that. And it's both shows totally different. No Rick, and yeah, man, absolutely. And then for Fear, I mean, it's almost like Fear is even more reinvented then, because the whole cast and everything, different location and everything with season 4. So you could almost say Fear has reinvented itself even more than The Walking Dead, even still probably. And last one will be from OG Bobby Johnson, who said, "Oh no, Trev's jumping on the hate train, LMAO." So I'm not. I'm enjoying the series. I'm looking forward to everything we're going to see from both series this year, and I'm trying to keep it as positive as I can, keep a positive mindset going through for this half season. It looks like it's going to be great. It looks like the Whispers are going to be awesome, and we'll see how it turns out. We'll see how this new version of The Walking Dead feels. Obviously, the world changing. You got Premiere and all this different stuff coming out and everything. So things change, right? The series have changed a lot, and we'll have to see for both The Walking Dead and Fear the Walking Dead what they feel like going forward, because obviously going to be way different from the old school Walking Dead, which kind of saddens me, but it's probably necessary at the same time. Either you end the shows or you reinvent them a lot as you go through, and that's what they've done. So happy to hear it, and looking forward to the new episodes. Better than nothing, that's for sure. If you guys like this video, please thumb it up below. Check out the episode tonight if you got Premiere. If you don't, see what you can do, and we'll have some videos this week for sure. Maybe one tonight after the episode's premiere. That's it for this one, guys. We'll see you again soon for another. As always, this is Trev, and I'm saying peace. I'll see you guys soon.